So if you have this and you feel the need to still borrow, and your political leaders are engaging in this type of behavior, why would anybody take such a country seriously? There's not even a consideration to say, okay, if they must have jeeps, we are going to buy locally produced goods, jeeps, that would cost maybe 50 billion each instead of 50 million each instead of 160 million each or 130. That would even show some indication, some sensitivity to the suffering of the Nigerian masses. But no, you don't have that.
The National Assembly's plan to acquire and distribute utility Prado SUVs with a total value of around 130 million naira has raised eyebrows. The rationale behind the purchase, as explained by the House Committee on Media and Public Affairs, is to facilitate oversight functions and access challenging terrains across the nation. However, this move has raised concern about the country's economic challenges and the rising cost of governance, especially as Nigeria continues to grapple with a high inflation rate and increasing debt burden. At a time when Nigeria is grappling with an odious debt portfolio, acquiring luxury vehicles at exorbitant prices is insensitive to the country's economic position. Reacting to this while speaking on Channels Television's Politics Today on Monday, former Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Professor Kingsley Moghalu, said that the country's governance culture encourages extravagance among political leaders and appointees, and it needed to be addressed.
The culture of governance. The culture of governance we have in Nigeria is very weak. People do not feel a sense of responsibility and accountability to deliver services to the Nigerian people. And there is no real measurement of it that we can see. There is no accountability process that we can see. These things are all part of the governance architecture. So the culture of governance is a very important issue that needs to be addressed. And the tone has to be set from the top, from the presidency down, and it has to include the National Assembly, because a lot of resources go to the National Assembly and they are supposed to be independent of the executive. So they themselves must come on board, examine themselves and say, look, even if we've been making these mistakes in the past, we cannot continue this way. We have to cut our salaries. I recommend a 50% cut for all political office holders and all national legislators. It will make people a little bit more sober. It will make them understand that we're in hard times. So the culture of governance, all these excessive demonstrations of power and influence, it's a very negative culture because it shows that government is not for service. It is for self-aggrandizement. It is for political power for its own sake, not for leadership and service. And this has to cut across the board, both across the legislature and across the executive. Cut down the salaries and the allowances.
Rootstv took to the streets to get the opinions of Nigerians, especially after Akin Rotimi said the vehicles are essential work tools and not status symbols.
Oversight functions are observed everywhere else where there's democracy. In America, there are oversight functions. In the UK, there are oversight functions. Of course, even though their democracy is a bit different from ours, but there are oversight functions anywhere else in the world. So the question you ask yourself, do they get them brand new SUVs every other time because of oversight functions? The answer is no. So why are we doing it differently? Again, public spending is a way too much. Government is not sensitive enough. And I'm a bit disappointed, or much more disappointed, because of the person who heads the government at the time.
They pay themselves, right? And they get their meeting and other things, allowances, sitting allowances. They should buy that car from that their own. Government will use that money. And we need hospitals, we need good roads. They should seize all those cars, take the money, go and build better road for us. Travel by the road from here to east. From here to Okene, from here to Awuchi, from here to Ulomi. Make you see how the road be. So what's the sense of buying the car? And those people that buy a car, most of them get 10 cars in their house. Not that they're having 2 or 3 cars. Most of them have 20 cars parked, 15. Why would they be so? Why would they be lobbying other people? Why would they be lobbying people?
My own perspective, I just feel this is a misplaced priority, because I don't see why you are giving our so-called senators, our House of Rep members, cars, new car. What happened to the one that was there before? Now, why are they spending money unnecessarily? There's hunger in the country. People are suffering. There's serious, severe hunger. My neighbor now, she was begging me to eat food. So I don't know what's wrong. This is not supposed to be so. They are borrowing money. All the ones they have been borrowing right from the previous regime. What are they doing with it? We don't see any reason why they will be borrowing money. We are not seeing what they are using. They will borrow money, we will squander the money, and then they will use our future to pay back the loans.
They should use their car to enter their constituency. And one car is okay for them. But if you check their compound, you see many cars there. Why can't they use the car? What I'm saying is that the masses that they don't have anything to go to their office. There's some people that want to do interview, don't have money to do. They should buy mass transport, put it on the road at the low cost so that people can have access to go to where they want to go, their business, everything. So they have cars already.